Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call to order the council meeting for Wednesday, August 7th, 2019. We would like to stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, may I have roll call, please?
Olivia Brady, Valerie Scott Cooper, Hakeem Jones, Derek Perry, Rebecca Smith, here. Heather Lewis,
Here.
Sonia Sanders.
Thank you. Would a member of council like to make a motion to approve the minutes from council workshop session from July 16th, 2019? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Motion passes. This evening, we had an executive session concerning real estate and litigation matters. Madam Secretary, do we have any presentations this evening?
I don't think so.
Okay. Madam Secretary, do we have any announcements? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Councilwoman Scott Cooper, the announcements, please.
Okay, the announcements for August 7th, 2019. The Norristown Police Department, in conjunction with the Recreation and the Fire Departments, are hosting Play Streets on August 14th on the 500 block of Norris Street. So the Play Streets have been going on for several weeks now, and so we're encouraging you to bring your children out on those days. The second announcement, the summer outdoor concerts will wrap up this month with the morning after on August the 11th, high noon, August the 18th, and Touche the Band on August 25th, with Norristown's own Alana Nelson. All shows begin at 7 p.m. Third announcement, the Citizens Leadership Academy is now open for registration. The 8-week program is an opportunity for residents to gain insight on the ins and outs of local government. The program is available to residents and business owners on a first-come, first-served basis. Applications available online or email PIO, that's P as in Peter, IO, at norristown.org. The fourth announcement, Help a Single Parent organization will be hosting an annual community day on August 25th at Simmons Park from 12 noon to 6 p.m. They are looking for vendors. They will have all kinds of activities for children. They will also be handing out book bags, and the book bags will be filled with school supplies, as they do have a list for all the schools in the area and what the school supplies are necessary for each grade level. They're also going to have health screening that day. So we're asking everyone to come out and bring your children, bring your neighbors and your children, enjoy the day, the festivities, as well as get their book bags. And that's it. Thank you.
Does any other council member have any announcements? Councilman Jones.
Good evening. Just wanted to start by sharing information on a upcoming job fair. It's going to be in King of Prussia, the King of Prussia Career Fair at the Crown Plaza. That will take place August 13th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. 260 Mall Boulevard. Companies such as the Census, Colonial Electrics, Securitas, FedEx, and many other local companies will be there. Another employment announcement, First Student is looking for bus drivers. There's a shortage in bus drivers, so there's an opportunity on Thursday, July 18th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's going to be at the PA Career Link, located at 1855 New Hope Street, and that's for bus drivers. Another employment announcement, PennDOT will be holding a information session, highway and construction on the job training programs for anyone interested in working for PennDOT. That information session will be August 21st, 2019, 10 a.m. to noon, and that will take place at the Human Services Center, 1430 DeKalb Street. I just wanted to take a minute to acknowledge and send condolences to the families and victims in both Dayton, Ohio, and El Paso, Texas. I'm sure everybody knows there were a lot of people affected. Norristown has also lost a well-loved person. Keisha Rochette was killed in an accident. So prayers are with the Rochette family as well.
I do have one more announcement. Myself, as a 2nd District Council person, in conjunction with the Dragon Boat Club, will be hosting a family fun day at Riverfront Park on Saturday, August 17th, 2019, from noon until 5. Free food. The Alan Reynolds Band will be performing all day. There's going to be a lion dance from Hawes and Main Street down to the park. Free activities, free events, workshops. Our fire department will be performing some water safety demonstrations on the river. There will be a cardboard boat building contest and race that day, boxing demonstrations, and lots more. So for more information, you can reach out to the Dragon Boat Club or myself. And that concludes the announcements. Madam Secretary, do we have a public comment?
Yes, Delbert Harrison.
My name is Delbert.
Good evening.
Harrison. How are you guys?
We cannot hear you. You need to speak into the microphone.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me now? I'm here to talk about Simmons Park. That was just mentioned. A few years ago, when you guys came to us, you introduced us to a park improvement project. Since then, nothing has been done. Me and Hakeem Jones, we have been up to McCann's Park. We have redo it all over. None of the parks, since the park improvement, nothing have done. As a matter of fact, we're paying for Skag-Cotman Park, and there's no light down there. We have to pay the borough for Skag-Cotman Park. Simmons Park last week, 3 weeks ago, I saw Derek Perry out there, one that we were sitting, the game, it was filled. I said, DP, one of the guys said, ask DP when you gonna fix the park. I said, DP, when you gonna fix the park? Without hesitation, he said to me, I don't care about that park. Everybody heard him say that now. That's not news. I don't care about that park. I was here and it's Sunday from Khalif, one of our student athletes who comes in here, and as a matter of fact, he might be paying for the whole league right now, the insurance and everything, just to keep things going on. A year and a half ago, 2 years, the field was done, the soccer field was done, supposedly redone. The dirt that was put on there is toxic. I've found that I have witnesses. I would testify in court. This gentleman here, he has told me, right in council, he said to me, oh, the park is not going to be like that. It's worse. That dirt is toxic. I've been to Crandall's office 3 times last year, August through September. I contacted the DEP about the dirt because one of the residents said, well, look, we better get to the DEP because this dirt is toxic. Our kids is playing on it. The DEP contacted Crandall. Crandall told the DEP that was the dirt that was there before. That was a bold-faced lie. That dirt was not there before. That's a toxic dirt. The thing is, the DEP did not test the dirt. There were people go to court and tell you right now where the dirt is from, and the dirt is toxic. This is what I call executive hate. You're saying you give me a project saying park improvement project, it helps establish and make the community better, it's for the better of the, but in the same time you're putting toxic waste on the field where our kids are playing. And you're lying to the DEP and telling them that it was there before. That's not right. Thank you.
Thank you. Crandall, Mr. Jones, would you please respond to Mr. Delbert's comments?
Thank you, Madam President. I did want to respond since he did put out some information that is kind of misinformation, and we don't want the public unnecessarily concerned. We did get a call from DEP related to that park when the complaint was made. The municipal engineer, and as a matter of fact, responded. The municipal engineer had the park tested because the allegation was made that it was toxic, and the test was conducted. The results are certainly available, and it is absolutely not toxic. There's nothing toxic at all about the materials out in the park. I'll also remind council that the plan that was initially set forth for making the improvements in that park were fully implemented. Council actually also made, beyond those original plans, some additional funding available to do the last work that was done. That project actually has been completed and has been completed successfully, has been reviewed by engineers, by DEP, in terms of what happened. And so just to set the record straight, there's nothing toxic in that park at all.
That's not what that's not what I heard. And since it's been completed, nobody can play on it.
Thank you.
There hasn't been nobody
Delbert.
playing on it. You can't play on it.
Mr.
How
Jones,
is it
would you make a
completed?
point to make that report public so that the community is well informed and feel comfortable that we are not having our children playing on toxic dirt? Thank you. Madam Secretary, do we have any other
No, we
public
don't.
comments? Any communication?
No, there's not.
Would you like to read that communication, Mr. Perry? Councilman Perry, thank you.
Sorry, this was in the Times Herald, but it was not written the same way that it was sent to council. So I'll make sure that it is read the right way. I just want, dear Norristown Municipal Council, I just wanted to take a moment and write to you my thoughts as a tax-paying resident of the municipality of Norristown. I have lived here my entire life, watching how the current Norristown Council members' behavior to certain residents and watching the recent decisions of you have made concerns me. I'm afraid that the current administration is allowed to renovate to the municipal hall and spend a large amount of money when the town has so many other real issues that need to be dealt with. In my eyes and other residents' eyes, known as constituents, are things that the Norristown Council members should be addressing before they spend money to renovate the municipal building. Reducing council chambers. The reason no one comes to the Norristown Council meetings is because you don't get time to speak. No one answers residents' questions. And the overall feeling is that the solicitor is in charge along with the administrator. Both of them are not welcoming, or do they care about the residents of Norristown? Please understand your job is to all members of this community. Whether you like them or not is a personal matter, but your obligation is to address these items before you spend taxpayer dollars to renovate the municipal hall. Finding someone to fix the air conditioner unit right instead of buying window units to the offices and suffocating the people coming to the hall to pay their bills or obtain permits is not equal to all. The trash on the gateways need to be addressed daily, even Sunday. Marshall Street, DeKalb Street, Main Street, Erie Street, Markley Street should be welcoming, not disgusting visual effects that dominate stench on top of it. Norristown residents need help. They are living in poverty and need program access to support them to take care of their homes. Norristown Council members need to stop with these elaborate trips of traveling out of the state with their boyfriends and posting it on social media while the residents are trying to keep the roof over their heads before the taxes keep going up. All of Norristown Council members work for entities that have relationships with the municipality. It appears unethical. The president works for the solicitor, vice president works for the county, one council member works for the county, and one council member works for the local congresswoman. In all the years I have been an active member in the civic service to my community, I'm saddened that our lives are irrelevant to the people making the changes, and the persons truly making the decisions are forcing hardships to so many people. This is what got me. Favoritism and capitalized in one race population. I'll say that again. Favoritism in the one race population, undocumented, has been given attention and blind eye support, knowing they will not be questioned on the bad decisions being made. They are forever grateful to be here free, but they are. I fear they are being taken advantage of as homeowners. They too are not wealthy either to handle the continued increases in the taxes that homeowners are faced with. I ask you to reevaluate the laws and rules of Norristown and truly understand what your power is as my representatives and what does Norristown residents really need. I was taught that taxes were created to keep a community clean and safe to its residents. However, is spending $8 million to redecorate the inside of a municipal hall really cost effective when people are losing their livelihood and children are killing each other in the streets? How can this spending be effective to clean and safe streets to all residents if they are not really clean and safe in reality? I can only hope and pray in my faith of God that you reevaluate your soul to ask the right questions and make the right decisions. Thank you, Mary Ellen DiGregorio, 564 East Main Street, Norristown, PA, 19401.
Thank you so very much for including that communication, Councilman Perry. This evening, we have some appointments. Resolution 19-139, appointment to various boards and committees. Council will consider Resolution 19-139, which would appoint Kabir Hussein to the Planning Commission and Laura Smith and Blaine R. Pierce to the Recreation Committee. Is there any questions from council? Would a member of council like to make a motion to approve Resolution 19-139 to appoint various boards and committees? Second. All in favor? Aye. Oh. Madam Secretary, have a roll call, please.
Olivia Brady, Valerie Scott Cooper, Hakeem Jones, Derek Perry, Rebecca Smith, Heather Lewis.
Aye. The ayes have it. The motion is passed. Resolution is passed, excuse me. Mr. Singh, Building and Code Enforcement, please.
Thank you. For consideration, the June 2019 certificates of appropriateness as reviewed and recommended by the Norristown Historical Architectural Review Board, the following properties: 11 East Elm Street, 13 East Elm Street, 17 West Erie Street, 529 George Street, 800 Arch Street, 219 East Jacoby Street.
Thank you. Is there any questions from council? Would a member of council like to approve the resolution, or excuse me, the June certificates of appropriateness recommended by the Norristown Harp? All in favor? Any nays?
Roll call.
Roll call, please, Madam Secretary.
Olivia Brady, Valerie Scott Cooper, Hakeem Jones, Derek Perry, Rebecca Smith, Heather Lewis.
Aye. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank
Wait,
you.
Is that a roll call? I'm sorry, now I'm questioning myself.
Excuse me?
I was thinking we were.
It was from your roll call anyway.
All right. I jumped ahead, I'm sorry. I jumped ahead.
I'm just going to roll with roll call on them all, so.
The charter requires resolutions and ordinances to be
Yes.
by roll call, but any motion can be requested by roll call as well. Doesn't matter.
There we go. So, but it's all good. All righty. Public safety. Chief O'Donnell, we have Resolution 19-137, appointment of David A. Hicks Jr. to Assistant Fire Chief. Council will consider Resolution 19-137, which would promote and appoint David A. Hicks Jr. to the position of Assistant Fire Chief of the Norristown Fire Department. Is there any questions from council? Would a member of council like to make a motion to approve? Can I do my job? I'm practicing. Did I hear a second? Madam Secretary, can I have roll call, please?
Olivia Brady, Valerie Scott Cooper, Hakeem Jones, Derek Perry, Rebecca Smith. Aye. Heather Lewis.
Aye. The ayes have it. The resolution carries. And we will do the order. The oath of office, the Commonwealth, thank you. So, I, state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, or defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Charter of the Municipality of Norristown,
the Charter of the Municipality of Norristown,
and the laws of Pennsylvania
and the laws of Pennsylvania
and the Municipality of Norristown.
and the Municipality of Norristown.
I will discharge the duties of my office
Discharge the duties of my office
as Assistant Fire Chief
as Assistant Fire Chief
for the Municipality of Norristown
for the Municipality of Norristown
with honor and fidelity.
with honor and fidelity.
I will uphold, obey, and enforce
I will uphold, obey, and enforce
the laws of Pennsylvania
the laws of Pennsylvania,
and the Municipality of Norristown
the Municipality of Norristown,
without consideration
without consideration
to a person's race, color, sex,
to a person's race, color, or sex,
religious creed,
religious creed,
sexual orientation,
sexual orientation,
age,
age,
national origin,
national origin,
ancestry,
ancestry,
handicap, or disability.
handicap, or disability. Thank you.
This is like an easy Chief O'Donnell, would you like to speak on the fire service mutual aid agreement with Upper Marion Township?
Yes, Madam President. Before Municipal Council tonight is a mutual aid agreement that the Solicitor's Office has created. It is a reciprocating mutual aid agreement, meaning that we receive aid from other communities and we give them aid. We have about 25 of them currently established with various communities around us. It's a way of bringing help to our community when we need it the most. And likewise, it's a way of getting help into their communities when they need it the most. The beauty of these agreements is it establishes all the legal requirements if somebody gets injured. what the training requirements are, and basically puts all the legal issues to rest before they even happen. So before you tonight is a consideration to enter in an agreement with Upper Marion Township. Upper Marion Township we've always had mutual aid agreements with their 3 volunteer fire companies. They just recently created a municipal fire department where they employ full-time firefighters. And this agreement would be with the township and the municipality of Norristown to enter into that agreement that we would share resources when we need them the most. That's it, Madam President.
Thank you, Chief. Is there any questions from council? Councilman Jones?
Thanks, Chief. I remember one of the larger fires we had in the 4th District. Montgomery Mills was a huge fire, and I noticed the many fire trucks from all over that were coming into Norristown. So it definitely makes sense that a lot of companies come to our help when we need it. So it's a good idea that we support our fellow neighbors the same way.
Yep.
Any other questions? Councilman Perry?
I know at one time you were speaking in regards to a regional plan to maybe get with other townships to always use resources. Obviously, we see it now. Is there any plans in the works besides Upper Marion, maybe to get Plymouth, East Norton, West Norton, et cetera, et cetera?
So we currently enjoy mutual aid agreements currently with East Norton, Bridgeport, West Norton, Plymouth. The only one we don't have is Upper Marion Township itself, right? So as I said earlier, we have about 25 of these signed mutual aid agreements with various stakeholder fire departments throughout Montgomery County. And we're one of the only fire departments that have these type of agreements, right? As far as like the study on a regional fire department, I think me and Crandall have advocated, and we had a study done recently and paid for by Montgomery County. That study wasn't exactly what I desired from the study, but I'm not giving up hope, right? I think that the solution to a lot of our staffing and fire service needs in Montgomery County need to be on a regional level, right? And I think that is something that the elected officials really need to make happen, right? I'm certainly supportive of it, and I'm sure that Crandall could probably elaborate even more so than I have.
I was going to say, whatever you need, you know we're always here for you, along with all of the rest of the staff, that we want to make Norristown better than what it was before. So,
and I appreciate that. And I wish we had the same group of elected officials probably in the other 61 communities in this county.
Councilmember Perry, I do want to share that we did act on this issue. Council President Sanders, myself, and Chief O'Donnell actually brought the issue to the county in a presentation that ultimately resulted in them doing the study. I agree with him. The outcome of the study wasn't what we wanted, and I think a large part of that had to do with there are a lot of fire companies that are established out there that don't want to change. And so the only way to make that change happen, I think, is two-pronged, and we agree on that. One, it was the managers had to get engaged in the discussion, which the study didn't really engage the managers. And two, the elected officials have to get engaged in terms of leading it politically. Chief O'Donnell, at my invitation, I'm the president of the consortium of managers in Montgomery County right now. We actually dedicated one of our monthly sessions to addressing all of the managers with this issue. And Chief O'Donnell led a panel of 3 managers, fire chiefs, in discussing this issue to get it on the radar of the city managers in Montgomery County. And so part of that, and we identified some strategies, and a part of that outcome was to come back and then us start reaching out to our various bodies to see if they can form an alliance to join with us and really push the county to be more serious with a lot of the other municipalities in the county to take this up. So we're working on that. I know the managers have been talking about it. The fire chiefs who are engaged in this are talking about it. So you're going to hear some more about it in the coming months.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Any other questions? Oh, Yes, whose hand was up first? Councilwoman Brady.
Thank you. So I just want to make sure I heard you clearly. So what you're saying is that other municipalities do not have these mutual agreements with neighboring fire departments, is that correct?
There's some fire departments that don't have mutual aid agreements, right? I think they're important, right, to establish those working relationships in writing that really understand what we're asking of them, what training we were asking of them, and it puts a lot of liability issues that if somebody gets injured or killed here, right, who owns that, right? And it's not something where, I'm sure Sean would, keep him out of court, right? That's the whole idea of these mutual aid agreements is to put those legal questions and concerns to rest by each community adopting that set of rules. And Upper Merion has already done it, and it's before you folks here tonight, Municipal Council, to consider the same.
I want to thank you for pushing forward with that. I agree with you that it really spells out all of the necessary ingredients to make sure that everybody's covered, everybody's in understanding of what needs to be done, and it fosters a very positive working relationship between the two municipalities. So thank you for all the work that you've done in putting these agreements forward.
Yep.
Councilwoman Smith.
Also, thank you for that and for your advocacy on what you've expressed a number of times is a very important need for the future of fire departments in the area. Question about the study, did it look at just whether fire departments were interested, or did it look at like the financial and actual serving benefit of regionalization? And 2, where can I find a copy of the report?
So a copy of the county study, I will email it to Crandall tomorrow, and he can get it out to everybody from council. It's a public document that the county commissioners have already vetted, and it's already a public document. We'll be sure to get that in your hands.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Chief O'Donnell.
You're welcome.
So, would a member of council like to consider approving the agreement which would provide mutual assistance to the parties for control of fire, fire prevention, emergency medical services, hazardous materials, control and/or other emergency support in the event of a major fire, disaster, or other emergency? All in favor? Madam Secretary, we're rolling with roll call, please. Aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Captain Clauser, Resolution 19-138, reserved disabled parking.
Yes, good evening, Madam President. Resolution 19-138 is to establish handicap parking at 8 Forest Avenue, 716 Astor Street, and 1717 Willow Street for residents that have verified medical conditions, and to remove the handicap parking at 1025 West Lafayette Street.
Thank you. Is there any questions from council? Would a member of council like to approve Resolution 19-138 for reserved disabled parking? So moved. Second. All in favor? Madam Secretary, can I roll call, please?
Olivia Brady, Valerie Scott Cooper, Hakeem Jones, Derek Perry, Rebecca Smith, Heather Lewis.
Aye. I think I like saying all in favor, I think is what my issue is. Okay. The ayes have it. The resolution is passed. You are very welcome. Ms. Massagne, Planning and Municipal Development, Resolution 19-135, preliminary and final land development.
Thank you. Before you have the request for preliminary final land development for the property located at 50 West Brown Street. I do not see the applicants in the audience, but I'll continue. We do have a municipal engineer. I will just give you a brief background, which of course was actually given at the July 16th workshop, and I'll go over it again. The zoning hearing board granted a C. Yes. Oh, I'm not loud enough? Can you hear me now? Okay, sure. The zoning hearing board granted C SMI LLC a variance from the parking requirements allowing for 75 spaces instead of 80, and a special exception to allow an elementary school on August 28, 2018. CSMI LLC submitted an application for minor land development review in December of 2018 to convert the existing building located at 50 West Brown Street to a charter school to facilitate 400 students. The municipal engineer provided review letters on January 4th, 2019, April 9th, 2019, and June 26, 2019. The Montgomery County Planning Commission provided an Act 247 review letter on December 28, 2018. The land development proposal was reviewed by the Norristown Planning Commission on May 14, 2019, and it made a recommendation for council approval subject to the municipal engineer's review letter. The applicant provided revised land development plans on May 20, 2019, in response to the Planning Commission's recommendations. The municipal engineer issued a final review letter dated June 26, 2019, and Resolution 19-135 granting preliminary final land development approval for council's consideration was attached in the transmittal. The applicant did appear at the July 16th meeting, and council tabled the matter and asked that it was brought to this meeting. As I mentioned earlier on, I don't see the applicant. He was aware of it, but I know there were several waivers that were requested, and the engineer is here to address those waivers in case any council member has questions on those particular issues.
And that's on page 3 out of 4 of the resolution that's before you. I believe our engineer, Mr. Hassan, gave an explanation of all 3 and had no issue with council granting or approving those waivers. Is that correct, Mr. Hassan? Or?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Are there any questions from council? Mr. Solicitor, would you please give an explanation of exactly what is before us for our vote?
Okay, so what you have before you, as was discussed at our last meeting, is a resolution here to grant preliminary and final approval for a charter school use at 50 West Brown Street in Norristown. So just to explain some things and put things into context for everyone, as Ms. Messonnier referenced, this use was already approved at our zoning hearing board over a year ago. So they received the required use there. There has been a much publicized application in front of the Norristown school directors, and they were, opposed to the application for this charter school itself, but that's in the process of appeal. Obviously, any kind of charter school that would have to go there would be contingent upon the state granting that appeal. So what the applicant has done is the applicant has met the requirements, except for those 3 waiver conditions, of our subdivision and land development ordinance. They've received the recommendations from the appropriate agencies and have talked to our engineers. This is not saying that municipal council, the engineer, the solicitor, anyway approves of this use. What we're saying is that it's met the legal requirements of our subdivision land development ordinance. I was also asked by council, meaning municipal council, if we were to, if council was to deny this request, what would happen? So it's my opinion, or our office's opinion, that if it was, if council voted no, the applicant has a right to appeal this determination to the Montgomery County Court of Common Pleas within 30 days. And based on the fact that they have met the vast majority of the requirements of our ordinance, with the exception of what a court would likely view these 3 waivers as de minimis, that they would get relief through a court in granting of this. This would cost the municipality several $1,000s to have my law firm go ahead and litigate this in court. So I wanted council to be aware of the pros and cons of turning this down, knowing that many of the council members would prefer a different use on this site.
Thank you for that explanation. And in recap, the vote that we're going to be casting this evening is strictly for the land development out of obligation to our ordinance that they have met the qualifications to receive the approval. Any other questions? Councilman Perry.
Just put it on the record also that, and Mr. Solicitor, you can answer this, does municipal law trump state law?
No, I mean, the state law preempts municipal law. From the state law, all our zoning ordinances flow from the power that's given to our municipality from our charter and the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code.
Any other questions from council? Councilman Jones.
Just from my end regarding the situation, CMSI is looking to operate a charter school here in the Norristown community. And as, we've spoken tonight, legally, the company has done everything, and they've taken all the necessary steps to develop in the property in which, they want to develop in. There are many concerns, for the record, there are many concerns with the charter program, the rankings, the ratings, reputation, and past performance that draw many concerns. So to that, it will fall into a further discussion between the school district and the state when it comes to getting a license. So as a borough councilman here, I have my opposition to an extent when it comes to the nature of the project.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Councilwoman Scott Cooper?
There's been a lot of discussion about this charter school coming to Norristown. And I just wanted to go on the record that I believe Norristown Area School District is a great school. And the competition of charter schools coming to our town could be very not well received. And I just want on the record that I would prefer that land use be used for something other than a charter school.
Thank you. Any other comments from council or questions? Okay, so would a member of council like to make a motion to approve Resolution 19-135, the request for the preliminary and final land development?
Yep.
Second.
So there's a motion and a second. This would require a roll call. And this is with an understanding that this would also approve the 3 waivers as was discussed by the municipal engineer.
Madam Secretary, would I have roll call, please?
Libby Brady. Valerie Scott Cooper. Hakeem Jones. Derek Perry. Rebecca Smith.
No.
Heather Lewis.
A reluctant yes.
So that's 5-1, 5-1.
Passes.
Okay, thank you. Resolution 19-135 passes. Mr. Butts, ordinance 19-09, appropriation of funds for properties.
Madam President, members of council, this is essentially a housekeeping issue. Previously, council approved an agreement to purchase the Delucia and Koch properties. This ordinance before you this evening amends the 2019 budget to appropriate a total of $2,155,725 for that to effectuate that purchase, $1,271,634 comes from the Series 2017 AA note issue, the federally taxable notes. You may recall council approving that in 2017. The additional $884,091 comes from the unassigned fund balance. As I say, this ordinance is housekeeping matter. It appropriates the money necessary to effectuate the property purchases.
Thank you for that explanation. Is there any questions or comments from council? Seeing none, would a member of council like to approve ordinance 19-09, appropriation of funds for the purchase property of Delucia Properties?
So moved.
All in favor? Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Libby Brady. Valerie Scott Cooper. Hakeem Jones. Derek Perry. Rebecca Smith. Heather Lewis.
Aye. The ayes have it. Ordinance 19-09, appropriation of funds for properties passes. I would like to make a comment regarding the communication this evening, just for the record. I do not work for the county. I will not be receiving a pension from the county. I work for a nonprofit that is independent from the county. So would a member of council like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
All in favor? And one more roll call, please.